Would you rather have friends who like you for who you really are in your default relaxed state, or have friends who like you for a persona you put out there? Now, this is probably an easy question to answer, but let's say I gave you a list of behaviors you have to put out there every single time, in every single interaction. You have to tick every box. And if you do that, you will be validated by the masses. Everyone will appreciate you. You will have hundreds of likes on all social medias without even being an influencer. You can have that, or you can have two diehard friends who you can dive deep into the experiences of life together with, and who you can trust. The courage to be disliked is the cornerstone of building true friendships. You have to put your authentic self out there. You with your most socially doubted and weird passions, because that's the only way you will attract people that also have such weird passions and people that will match your weirdness. Now, people that usually watch this type of videos are struggling with engaging in conversations and socializing with normal people, because they are saying that normal people are boring, they always talk about boring stuff and keep gossiping. How are you supposed to socialize with them? How are you supposed to engage in conversations with them? Well, you don't really have to. You don't have to express your opinions on the subjects. You can just listen, and that's completely fine. But what I'd say is that you could also talk about your interests. And this might scare you. Will they be interested automatically? Not necessarily, but you can make them interested. Because if you are really passionate about something and you express that passion, that excitement when you are talking about the subject, they will be, at least to some extent, interested. But the issue is that people, if they take the courage to express their interests with boring people, they usually get nervous, anxious, behave weirdly. Like, for example, I watch football from time to time, and the other day we played a game and one of our players got injured. It's gonna be interesting. If you say it like this, the other persons will be like, okay, whatever. But compare this with, I am an absolute football geek. I love watching football. That's who I am. Can't do anything about it. And the other day we played a game for the history books. It was amazing. And in the dying moments of the match, one of our players scored a bicycle kick, like jumping over his head and scoring the ball overhead. Wonderful, wonderful goal. But the dumb best got injured while celebrating. Imagine the stupidity. Now we're gonna miss him for months. Now, if you say it with a bit more expressiveness, if you say it with a bit more excitement, the chances of the other persons being like, okay, whatever, are pretty low. They are most likely going to engage at least a bit in the conversation. But you need the courage to be more expressive, to be disliked, right? And it might seem scary at start. But taking the courage to do it the first time will prove you that it's most probably a fake idea. If you don't put your authentic self out there all the time, you might end up being validated by the masses, but no one will truly like you, no one will truly love you, and you will always have to play by the rules to put this persona out there. You are just like an actor, acting your own life. Why would you keep acting your own life? And the thing is, the fake persona will eventually fall, because you can fake this behavior, right? This cool set of behaviors in a small talk conversation, for sure. You can even fake it maybe in a week-long friendship. Okay, but at the level of months, your authentic tendencies start kicking in automatically and you can't do anything about it. And that's why it's better to be who you are by default. So, attracting people and behaving in this socially accepted way is not necessarily the best solution. You need to get to assume that you might be disliked, right? You need to take the courage to behave in a certain way that's a bit different from the ordinary, from the normal, boring conversations. You need to show a bit of who you truly are, make the conversation a bit unconventional. Through that, I don't mean start farting around persons you just met, but there are always ways you could be a bit more authentic. Like, for example, if a joke pops up in your mind and it's a joke, it's a type of humor that really makes you laugh. Say it. Take the courage to say it. Even though it might be around a person whose humor you don't really know. Say it and they might laugh at you, which is great, then it's a step forward in your friendship. They might not laugh with you, which is also good because at least it made you laugh. But own it. This is very important. Say the joke or do the unconventional behavior and then own it. Be grounded in who you are. Just be like, this is me. I said this joke, it made me laugh, and I don't care whatsoever about your reaction. I would like you to also find it funny or to accept it, but if you don't, that's completely fine. I'm just gonna keep doing it because this is who I am. And ultimately, you have to trust people blindly. Yeah, that's the only way to build friendships in the first place. You have to start with blind trust, trusting people without any guarantee that your trust will not be broken or that you won't be betrayed. And again, let's not take it out of context. We don't want to hand our credit card to strangers, for example. But if you are into basketball, for example, you could just tell the other person that you are into basketball. They might love it, they might hate it, they might not even care about it. Anyway, it's a step forward, and that's very important. Think about these concepts on your own. Take the time to think about these, to come up with your own conclusions, and eventually you will realize that this is the only way to build friendships. And if not, life will eventually prove it to you the hard way.